Background essay for Printing Press DBQ. Exploration or Reformation, which was the more important consequence of the printing press? At the end of the millennium, in late 1999, Arts and Entertainment Television identified 100 of the most influential people in the last 1,000 years of world history. It then asked a panel of experts to select the most influential person of these. From the list that included William Shakespeare, Isaac Newton, Thomas Jefferson, and Albert Einstein, the expert picked Johann Gutenberg. Many viewers were surprised, even shocked. Some weren't sure who Gutenberg was. What Johann Gutenberg did in the 1450s was to invent the first practical printing press. His invention came as a milestone event in the evolution of human communication. For probably 1,000,000 years or more, early mankind had depended on sign language for communicating. Then about 25,000 years ago, man learned to speak. The first picture writing dates from 8,000 years ago, and the first evidence of an alphabet comes from Phoenicia around 1500 BCE. The amazing thing about the alphabet is that every sound that we can imagine can be shown by some combination of a handful of letters. Unlike the ancient written languages of the Egyptians or Chinese, the alphabet represents sounds, not ideas. The Chinese written language has more than 50,000 different characters. Our modern alphabet has 26 letters. While the alphabet was easy to learn and put down on papyrus or eventually paper, it did not make written communication fast or cheap. Scrolls and then bound books were developed, but both had to be written by hand. During the Middle Ages, monks wrote manuscript books with pen and ink in a copying room known as a scriptorium. Even a small book could take months to complete. A book the size of a Bible could take several years. By the 1400s, mass production scriptoriums did exist, with over 50 scribes writing away as a single reader dedicated a text. But it was slow, and the books that were created, while often beautiful, could only be afforded by the rich. At the same time, Gutenberg, a goldsmith in Mainz, Germany, began his work on a mechanical printing system. Gutenberg was a businessman, and he saw the future. The Renaissance was underway, with a surge of ideas breathing new life into painting, architecture, old classical literature, theater, and much more. If only books could be created faster. The idea wasn't new. The Chinese introduced woodblock printing in 600 CE. They even experimented with movable wooden type, but with 50,000 characters, carving each character was impossible. Gutenberg saw his chance. Why not metal letters that wouldn't wear out, set in a frame that could be inked, papered, and pressed? Copies could be printed by hundreds or even thousands. In 1455, Gutenberg printed 180 Bibles, each of them over 1,800 pages long. There are only 21 of these Gutenberg Bibles left, some worth over $30 million. By 1500, more than 20 million printed books were in existence. By 1600, more than 200 million books had come off the presses. The impact of all of this is hard to overestimate. Two areas were clearly affected by the printing press. They were overseas exploration and the Protestant Reformation. The first involved doubling the size of the known world. The second involved dividing the Christian church into several pieces. Your task in this mini-Q is first to look at the documents that revealed the role played by the printing press in these two movements. Then address the question, which was more important consequence of the printing press? So from our background essay, probably our most important section that we are going to look at is right here. We want to know which area was most affected. Was it exploration or searching for new places? Or was it the spread of religious beliefs called the Protestant Reformation? As we look at these documents, we'll make a decision and then go ahead and write out our first constructed response.